Hello, friends. Looks like I'm live. Just take a quick check real quick. Yep, we are there. All right, so our internet's been a little funny today. So hopefully it's right now it says I have excellent connection. So here's hoping it stays that way. But bear with me if there's a blip here and there. Just because, like I said, it's been a little strange today. All right. Hello, Taryn. I'm so glad you're here. Now, I know there's another huge live stream happening right now, so if you join me live, thank you. I appreciate it. But if you're watching on replay, totally understandable. But I do thank you for joining me and or joining me on replay, and I really appreciate that. So, Papertrey Ink has a new release this week. Their March release went live on Tuesday, and it's like very fresh and springy and fun. So I'm going to feature some of those products today. They are linked in the video description below, along with a link to the entire March release. So if you want to check out all of the fun stuff, all of the fun goodies that just made their way to the online shop, I would love for you to do that. We're going to do kind of a scripture-based card today featuring the new Reflections stamp and die set. It's 1 Corinthians 6. I feel like it has a really good Easter vibe. So I'm probably going to turn this into somewhat of an Easter card today. And I think it's going to be really fun. So I think we are going to create a really lovely card together. Hello, Nicole. Thanks for popping on and joining me. Hi, Roxanne. So glad you're here. Some people are finding me. I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 minutes to let people join up and find the live stream if they're going to join this afternoon. So, but it's a fabulous release this month. The Instagram hop is still happening. So if you haven't checked that out, there is a $10 gift card prize at every stop. So I think there's like 10 or so stops. So good number of chances to win, a little extra cash towards your wish list. So definitely check that out. And other than that, before I get going with my Papertrey Ink live, though, I do want to just do a little side note that scrapbook.com launched their own cardstock collection today. So I have a new video featuring the A2 sampler pack on my regular video tab today. I created a cute little dumpster fire card with some Spellbinders products and the new cardstock. So it's super great. The cardstock sampler is only $24.99 right now, and you get 165 A2 sized sheets of cardstock, so you can test all of the different textures and colors and all of the good stuff. So check that out if you want to. It's a great little cardstock sampler, and I think they introduced them in 12 by 12, and then more sizes are coming. So I'm assuming 8.5 by 11 will come eventually. Hi, Mitchie. Hi, Denai. I think that's your name. The screen names are so tiny, and my 46-year-old eyes are having a much harder time seeing the little screen names every day. So I hope I got your name right. But so catch that video on just my regular video tab. I think it's under 10 minutes. So not a very long video to watch. And it's just like a fun little overview of the different cardstocks. So back to Papertrey Ink. Today, once again, I am featuring the new March release. If you haven't checked it out, it's fabulous. There's a link to the whole release. Dine, thank you. There's a link to the whole release in my video description. I think I put the itemized list of just the main items that I'll be featuring. And then after the live is over, I will finish the complete supply list and add all the things, inks, cardstocks, tools, all the things in there. So that's not updated yet, but it will be soon. All right. Well, I think I've given enough time for people to find us. And if you filter in and check it out, if you filter in, that's awesome. I will see you in the comments. Be sure to chat with me. But I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to my desktop And let's take a look at some of the new products I'm going to feature today. Hi, Carmen. So glad you're here. Okay. Make sure this is fairly straight. There we go. Okay. So you'll see I already did a little pre-die cutting just to save a little bit of time, but we'll go over that later. So I'm just going to push this to the side. But let's take a look at the products, oops, out of order, I intend to feature today. So up first is the Simply Birds die set. So it's just these peaceful little birds. They kind of almost look like, I don't know, they just look like tiny little cute birds. They got their round bellies, very peaceful. So you've got the birds and you've got some flowers and some greenery sprigs. So we're going to ink blend ours today. And so that's why, other than I did die cut a couple things from some ivory glitter cardstock, just like some middles and some little tiny flowers, we're going to ink blend our images today rather than cut them from colored cardstock. So that's kind of our main feature. So then the sentiment is going to come from the Reflections 1 Corinthians 6 die collection. So we have the actual stamp and outline die, and then we have this lovely, fabulous label die that we're also going to feature. And then finally, we are going to ink blend a background with the new Stems and Blooms stencil collection. This is, I think, 9 stencils. I don't think it lists the pieces anywhere. Anyway, it's 9 stencils. They have all of these cute little greenery sprigs and flowers and some middles on it. And we're going to use it to kind of create a flourishy background for our card today. I think this is a really fun stencil set that you'll get a lot of use out of. So yes, there is a lovely new prayer themed sentiment set in the release too. I am not featuring that today, but it does actually mix really well with the birds. So if you didn't want to use the larger 1 Corinthians 6 sentiment, you could always switch over to that. I also pulled out this sentiment set. This is Big Many Blessings, and I feel like it would go really well with this stamp set as well. Kind of spring themed, spring Easter, blessing themed. So I feel like I don't know if I'll use this today, but I wanted to pull it out because I think the birds would go really well. Oh, it's getting a little stuck there on this set as well. All right, so let's see. How about let's just get going. Let's start ink blending all of the fun little pieces that I've already pre-cut from the Simply Birds die collection. Let's actually start out with the birds first. So we've got these cute little birds. I think one bird is going to be blue and kind of robin's blue-ish tone. And then I think one bird is going to be either yellow or pink. You guys let me know. I am actually going to start blending the blue bird, which is going to be the bigger one. Let me know if you think on the smaller bird if we should do shades of pink or shades of yellow on this little cutie. All right, so I am going to grab out 3 shades of ink, which are going to seem a little strange. I know it's a great set, Carmen. I agree. So I'm grabbing Spring Rain, Blueberry Sky, but then Hawaiian Shores. And mostly I want this bird to be blue, but I wanted to have some little highlights of aqua here and there. So we're going to start with Spring Rain, which is a nice light shade of blue. And we're just going to do a nice light blend to begin with. So I'm just grabbing some on a bigger brush here. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And we're just going to start adding a little bit of blue ink to this cute little die. It's got these fun little detail layers. Just like so. And I always like to blend a little lighter because you can always add to your blending. You can't take, but you can't take away. Okay, so we started with the blue. Now we're going to come in with some Blueberry Sky and just kind of blend around the base with this little bit of a deeper tone. All right, we've got a vote for yellow. So sounds good. Maybe I will go completely out of my comfort zone today. Well, I mean, we're going to have pink flowers. So, hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining me. You're obsessed with birds. Well, that's okay. That's good. You're going to love this one then, because I am definitely doing cute little birds. And I am making this cute little birdie a bluebird today. So Blueberry Sky is the next color, and it's pretty deep toned. So, but it gave me a really good gradation from dark to light here. And then finally, we are going to come in with Hawaiian Shores. Just going to pull this down towards me and add just a little bit here and there. I might use a smaller brush for that. And just kind of add, well, the smaller brush isn't really working, so let's grab a bigger one. And add a little bit of Hawaiian Shores to his belly. And then, how about a little bit on his tail like that? There we go. There, it's starting to kind of show up. And then maybe just a little bit around his cute little head there. Now that is a good blend. I think that is a fun little blend on that bird. I love how this turned out. I love all the little details. My goodness. This little bird is so cute. Okay, I am going to go with yellows on bird number 2. So let's just wipe this down real quick. And I think we might come in and add a little bit of splatter to these birds too. Just some little white splatter notes. I think that might be kind of fun. Okay, so oopsies, goodness. Put these aside. And let's grab all of our different yellows. So we've got Lemon Tart, Harvest Gold, and this Bright Buttercup, which is nice and bright. We've got a couple of votes for people who really like the rooster in the new release. It is super cute. If you haven't checked it out, it's there's a cute little a new blog post today on the Papertrey Ink blog featuring it too, so it's a good one. You guys aren't signed up for Papertrey Ink's emails. They send out really fun, inspiring emails throughout the week, so definitely something to look forward to. So keep that in mind if you haven't signed up. Also, when they do releases, they have a ton of giveaways, and one of the giveaway options is by replying to the email with your favorites, and it enters you into a chance to win a $50 gift card code. So keep that in mind, because that is actually like quite a deal on that. So all right, so I started with Lemon Tart just as like a nice blend here. And then I'm going to come in and deepen just some of the areas with Harvest Gold. Like so. Oh, that bird is so cute. And then finally, let's grab the Bright Buttercup. And I'm going to kind of do what I did with the Bluebird. And we're going to just kind of add some brightness here and there. Maybe a little bit along his little belly there. And then up along his head. All right. And I think that is darling. Got some good gradation in there. So cute. Oh, good, Carmen. I love to hear that. All right, so I'm loving my birds. So we're going to set these aside. I think afterwards we'll splatter them, but let's do this. Let's add greenery. We'll start that next. So I cut a few pieces of each greenery. I don't know if we'll use them all, but I'm going to at least have them. And we'll have them ink blended and ready to go. And if I don't use them all on this card, I can always use them in additional cards in the future. I think what I'll probably end up doing is when, after I've done all my lives for the March release, before the April release happens, I'll probably see if I can find a way to make a card out of all of the little pieces that I haven't finished featuring yet. I think that might be kind of fun. Let's see, what colors do I want to use here? I think we're going to do the greenery in these shades of green. We're going to do some in Hawaiian Shore, some in Mint Julep, and some in Simply Chartreuse. Okay, so I need to get some blending brushes out of my way because they're making a huge mess. Okay, let's start with Hawaiian Shore. And we are going to do these cute little leaves in Hawaiian Shore. And then maybe these ones. Oh, I put it in Mint Julep. Don't do that, friends. Don't do that. Okay. Okay, so that is Hawaiian Shore. Now let's do some in Mint Julep. Okay, let's see here. Do these bigger ones in Mint Julep. Okay. And then I think we'll stick everything else in Simply Chartreuse. Alrighty. I think this is going to be a really pretty collection of greenery. Okay. Well, I think that looks pretty good. So we will set those aside. Okay. All right. Finally, let's do some of these really sweet little flowers that we've got. And then we're going to ink blend a background after that. And then we got a little heat embossing to do, a little splatter to do. We'll do that splatter so it has time to sit. I think it's going to turn up to end up being like a really super fun card, guys. I'm super thrilled with how this is going to turn out. Okay. All right, so flowers. We've got these bigger flowers here. And then a couple of the little smaller rolly flowers that also has that. Okay, so let's see. Color-wise, I'm gonna have to link up a lot of ink colors here, but that's okay. That's the fun part, right? So we're gonna do the little rolly flowers in Sweet Blush and Hibiscus first. And then I'm kind of on a berry sorbet kick, so let's do these bigger guys in the berry sorbet. Okay, so starting with Sweet Blush, we're going to do the smaller flowers, and that Sweet Blush is a super light tone. So I'm not tapping off any ink at all. I'm just taking it directly to the flower, like so. Okay, so then these little top guys are going to be Hibiscus Burst. I think it's about 2 shades deeper than the there we go. Want it to be a bit deeper than that Sweet Blush, so it pops off there, like so. Okay, and then finally, let's do Berry Sorbet. On this sweet flower here. And it kind of helps bring the little details of that flower that are etched in the dye a little bit to life a little bit better. So I kind of like that. All right, so there is the blend on the flowers. I think that they turned out really fun. And then this one has little ivory colored middles that go in it. Okay. We're not quite done ink blending. We have a little bit of ink blending left to do because we're going to create a background. So let me do that. It's going to be kind of similar to the background that I created for my Instagram hop card. If you saw that one, I'm sure I have it somewhere here. I could probably share it. But for that, I have a piece of white cardstock that I trimmed down just to slightly smaller than A2. So it's 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then we're going to take the Stems and Blooms stencils. Now this is a really fun set because you've got some flowers, which you can kind of blend anywhere you want, little flower middles, or just nice little accents, and then a good collection of greenery. And so I think I am going to focus on these two, and we're just going to kind of blend them around the edges because I am going to use a label die in the middle. So if we go too far into the middle, you're not going to be able to see them. So, and I think we're just going to kind of blend in a circle, one after the other. So for that, we're going to focus on greens. And I think we will use, what color? Let me grab all of the greens that we used. We used Mint, Hawaiian Shores, and Simply Chartreuse, pardon me. Okay. And I think we're going to just kind of rotate through those tones. Okay, let's see. So let's try and decide if I want to include Hawaiian Shores or not. Okay, I'm going to start with Mint Julep first. And like I said, we want these to be as much in the corner as possible, just because we are going to put a label die in the center. So, okay. All right, so a little bit like that. Okay, and then we will switch over to this one, kind of like so. And that one, I think we're going to do Simply Chartreuse here. Okay. Oh, it's coming together so pretty. Then we can kind of overlap like so. And this is, I think I will do Hawaiian shores. Okay. Like that. I think this is going to be a pretty magical little set here. Okay, and then we'll just kind of go in order. So we'll switch over to mint on this one. Let's see. And if some of the color kind of overlaps, because I'm not really cleaning these stencils off as I switch between colors, I'm not too worried about that actually. I think that will kind of help give it some like added love there. And then this one I feel like we could kind of overlap like so. Yeah. So it's kind of fun to build your own little background with these stencils. And there's so many cute designs. You kind of got the sky's the limit with this Stems and Blooms set. Oh, thanks, friend. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. Okay, so then we're going to come in with this one here in aqua tone. Let's make it a little closer to the side here. So we are, while I'm blending here, my mom is arriving from Arizona today, and we're having a little early Easter with my nephews this weekend, which I'm very excited about. It's going to be lovely to see them. It's been too long. All right, kind of want this to overlap, but man, it's overlapping a lot, so maybe I won't overlap it that much. Maybe I'll just kind of go. There we go. That's a little less overlapping. That one needs to be mint. So I'm excited to see my mom for one. Haven't seen her since December. And we get to spend time with my nephews and my brother, and it should be a fun weekend. I'm excited. Okay. So then I think we're going to do this one in aqua. I know that's kind of out of the order, but I think it's going to make more sense to have the aqua tone in here. So let's go ahead and add that one, and that's going to be our final little leafy layer. We might pop in, I don't think I'm going to pop in any flowers, but we might pop in on that little accent, some of the little like berryish type elements. But all in all, I think that turned out really super fun. I love it. Okay, I will clean those little stencils later. Let's grab this guy. And let's see what I want to do with those. Okay. Let's grab melon sorbet and lemon tart. Okay. Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to do the little 3 triple dots here and there in the yellow. I think that'll be a nice little touch here and there. No formula to this, friends, just kind of putting them where they fit. Throw one down in there. Let's see. It's kind of fun to do this. Just like no real plan in place. We're just like building up a fun little ink blended background here. Let's see, maybe there. And some of this may end up covered up by my little okay, that's pretty darn cute. Okay, so then let's do the other side, the other little dot in Berry Sorbet. Okay, let's see, maybe in here. I think you could just like go to town making fun little backgrounds with this set. I just love it. This is fun. Let's see, maybe up here. I'm not sure if that will get cut off. It might, but that's okay. We're going to do a little friend there, maybe there. Oop, that one I got a little wily with the stencil. It's okay. Let's see, where else? Maybe here. And then I feel like we need to break up some in here. So I think this guy's going to get a little pal too. I feel like, let's see. Okay, seems pretty good. Maybe one in here. Yeah. And I think we kind of need one over here too. That might get covered up, but it kind of looks a little Christmassy, actually. Now that I've done it, it has a little bit of a Christmas vibe, but that's okay. I think once we start adding the other stuff, it will go back to having like it has more of a spring vibe. Okay, that is all of the blending we're doing today. So I'm just gonna set these stencils to the side so I can clean them when we're done. I am gonna keep all of the inks aside so I remember which inks I featured so I can link them later. But I think this is going to turn out super fun. Okay, let's splatter these little birds. Now I had zero plans of splattering these. So I'm going to go grab all of the things I need to be able to splatter them. So bear with me. I'll let you look at the blending and the birdie blending here. Thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate it. Thank you, Carmen. Okay, I'll be right back with all my splattering stuff. Okay, I think I have everything I need. Let's clean that ink up real quick. There we go, an all-season background set. Exactly, Roxanne. Okay, oops, put that upside down. So let's get our little birdies in my splatter container, although it doesn't really contain the splatter very well. They still end up with splatter in most places, but that's okay. So let's do that. Actually, I have an idea. I might add a little gold splatter to the background too. For splattering, let's just, splatter. Let's just get the splatter going. Okay, so something I have noticed is that anything that I do that's white tends to dry out. So I'm just going to add some water directly into the splatter white and kind of get it going. If you add water, it basically like reinvigorates it. Like so. Really get down in there. Okay. And let's see if that was enough water to make this splatterable. Sure was. Cuteness. Okay. Can you see the splatter on the little birdies? They're adorable. Ah! Okay, let's pull the birds out carefully. And I'm going to set them in my little holder here to dry this one. Ooh, oh, that one makes me worried I'm going to smudge. Okay, so then let's grab this guy and we're going to splatter some gold. I will use my other brush since that one is filled with white. But basically, I have this gold splatter here. I don't think I need liquid or water for this one, so this can be put up. All right, I'm just going to grab this. And then for this one, make sure it's nice and put together here. But I think I'm just going to dip my paintbrush directly in here. We're just going to do some little splatters. And it really doesn't matter if it gets in the middle because we're going to cut out a label here shortly and put that label in the middle. So if a little bit of splatter gets in the middle, I'm really not too terribly worried about it. Ooh, those ones are a little bigger than I expected. Okay. And of course, sometimes the splatter just never goes exactly where you want it to go. Okay, try this again. There we go. Being a little stubborn. There we go. Just had to manhandle it a minute. Okay. All right, perfect. I will clean those brushes after the fact. You gently pull this out here so you can see it. I don't know if it shows off the shine. I think it probably actually shines up a little bit more as it dries, and I did not realize I forgot to kind of wipe up the white splatter, so I have some wet white splatter on the back. That was kind of dumb. That's okay. We'll just set it there to dry. And that is our adventure in splattering. It's always an adventure when you splatter live. You never know what it's going to look like. And I got a little paint on my desktop here, so I'm going to just clean it up before it sits too long. Okay. Never goes where I want it. I know. It really, truly never does. But I think it ended up turning out really pretty on there. Might have smudged some right there, but that's okay. It's a nice little addition. Those are going to take forever to dry because they were kind of big splatters, but if I need to tap them maybe with a paper towel, I can if need be. But I am going to just let it set aside while we stamp and heat emboss the sentiment and do some die cutting. Maybe, just maybe, it will dry in time. So I'm going to put these kind of out of my way up here. And let's go ahead and grab the Reflections 1 Corinthians 6 die, or stamp and die. And let's grab some white cardstock and get it heat embossed. Okay. So it's a nice size sentiment. I'm just going to put it in a corner and then I can use the cardstock, the rest of the cardstock for whatever I see fit in the future. We're going to heat emboss it. So I'm going to prep with a little bit of anti-static powder. And then we'll ink it up with Versamark ink and do some heat embossing. I always stamp a few times when I almost always stamp a few times unless I get a really good impression with black ink the first time. But when I'm heat embossing, I always feel like that first impression gets a little soaked up by the anti-static powder. So couple more impressions after that typically give good results. Okay. All right. Just angle this here. All right, I feel like that's pretty good. So I'm gonna pull it out here. And then today I am using Pearl Gold Sparkle. It's such a pretty, it's one of my favorite embossing powders. And we're just going to cover it. Make sure we get good coverage here. Of course, I'm getting sparkle everywhere. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But it is lovely. I don't know if the sparkle, there we go. I think I get a little bit of a reflection on the sparkle there, but I made a mess of when I was cleaning it. So let me handle that real quick. I do have one of those little like desk vacuums, but I have found, I don't know if I feel like it works super well on these fine little pieces of glitter. So I am going to grab it up with a cloth here, and that seems to work pretty well. Okay, let's heat set real quick. Oh, that's awesome, Carmen. They are really good ones. I agree. I especially like this one, just because it kind of has that Easter vibe to it. Okay, go ahead and get this heat set here. Oh, it's really so pretty. That, look at how beautiful that is. It's that like softer gold pearl tone I love, but then elevated with sparkle. And I think it's gonna go with that beautiful yellow bird so well. I'm excited how it turned out. It's got quite a bit of glitter on it. I may end up having to take it to my sink and clean it after my live is over. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to get all that glitter off. Maybe. Coming off fairly well. Okay, so now we need to die cut the sentiment and the coordinating label frame, which I am going to die cut from some glittery cardstock, of course. What is a Leah card without a little bit of glitter cardstock included? So I can go ahead and trim this down because I don't need that, and I can do something else with that little piece of white cardstock. Still have a bit of glitter. Let's get that cleaned up. Thank you, Carmen. Okay, so let's do this really quickly. My friend Heather got me a mini Empress for my birthday, and it's been really fun to use. I really do enjoy it a lot. Especially love the magnet element. Okay. I feel like that is a pretty good thing. I do typically still add a couple pieces of tape though, just because I have this fear of it slipping. And when it did slip on me once, and I'm not completely sure why. It's possible I kind of shoved it while it was going in, so it might have been user error, but it still is fabulous. I love the magnetic mat. Okay. Oh, and that's just perfect. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, we'll set that up there with all the other little finished elements. Now let's go ahead and die cut one of those labels. I'm going to decide on the color. I think it's going to probably be my normal pink because we've got quite a bit of blue happening It's either going to be pink or rosy. So let me grab those two colors. I'm just going to trim this away, and then I could use this for something, I'm sure. Not sure what size die cutting machine. Is this big enough? Oh, maybe. We're going to do the bigger label. So this is the with the Reflections product suite. There's typically always some type of like label shape die as well, and oh, it fits right perfectly. So this is the one for matching the 1 Corinthians 6 set. Thanks, Sandy. Me too. I think it's super fun, and I really love this one a lot. Let me see. Let me grab. Okay. So I've got my glittery pink one that I always love, which I think would look really lovely with the birds and such. And then I do have the aqua, but I feel like with the bluebird sitting on top, the aqua is just too much. We might do an aqua matte on our card. But then there is this rosy shade, which I do like as well. So I think it's toss-up. It's toss-up between pink and rose glitter cardstock. So there's that one, and there's that one. So one, basically pink's a little lighter toned. The rosy one, interesting enough, has a little bit of like a light greenish glitter fleck in there. So tell me what you guys think would look best. Let me pull out the other elements real quick. Okay. So here we have all of these pieces. This is what we got. We have pink flowers. Let me see. So then we have light pink or rosy toned. I'm struggling here, friends. I'm leaning towards light pink, truly. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that light pink. So it tends to be my go-to anyway. But got a vote for rose, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. Okay. I think I'm going to go with the pink, though. Got a couple votes for Rosie. Well, now you have me second-guessing myself. Well, let's actually see if I have it. Here's actually probably what will be the deciding factor. I don't want to have to go grab a piece of it. So let me see if I actually have a piece big enough. That will be the deciding factor. Let's cover that black because I think it's throwing my exposure off. Ooh, this might be big enough. All right. I'll try out Rosie. Since my other Papertrey Ink card had the pink, I'll do the Rosie this time. I like them both. I don't know why I'm being so particular. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. I mean, if anything, if I hate it, friends, we can always change it. Not a big deal. Okay. Let's cut it out and see how it goes. It is a pretty label die. I love it. And it makes such a beautiful shape. And I think it's going to look really lovely there in the middle. And this is going to go on top. Okay. I don't know. The Rosie's kind of seeming like a lot. I think I'm going to cut it from the pink too. And let's see. I'm kind of struggling with the Rosie tone, I think, a little bit. Okay, let's cut this one more time. Let's try this again. All right. I got to see it like actually together a little bit. teal is pretty, but I think it's going to be a little much for me with all of that. So yeah, yep. Sorry guys, I got to make a change. I think just for me, it's a little bit more my vibe with the lighter pink. I'm preferring the lighter pink. So that's what I'm going to go with today. I will save this rosy label for another card. I'm sure I will find something to do with it. But I do like the lighter pink. I think it matches the pinks a little bit better too. Okay. Go ahead and just set those aside. Okay. So I have a card base here. And I think I'm going to leave the card base white. Possibly. Or I might pop a little aqua underneath it. Let me grab that and see what I think. My only thing is that's a very bluebird. They're so cute. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think the lighter pink just works better for me. Okay. Let's see here. We have the shade, which I don't love. So going no on that, not for this card. We may just leave it white. I may go just nice, bright, and airy on this one. We do have this really super light blue that kind of matches the bird a little bit. It's kind of nice. Thoughts, white card base or blue card base? I think this is Spring Rain. Yeah, it has to be. So let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. All right, so we've got about 7 minutes to 2 for being an hour. I want to stick as close to an hour as I can. Let's see. Like so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of foam tape on the back of everything while I'm pondering what I want to do with the card base. Okay. All right, so we're going to pop everything up. I'm just going to use some 1mm foam tape to pop things up. Give the card some dimension and some nice shadowing. Okay, we got a couple votes for blue. Oh, hopefully I was like, hopefully the gold was dry. I didn't even think about it. I just kind of went for it. My goodness, Leah. All right, same with the cute little label. Okay. Pan that out to the edges here. Okay, that should be enough. For the label, we'll do the birds and stuff in a minute, but there's that. Okay, I'm going to trim down some cardstock down to A2, the blue cardstock, and that will be easier to judge as well. So I'll be right back with that. Okay. And I think that actually that will be really nice, having that little touch of blue, which will help bring in the color of that bluebird that we have here. So I think that's a good call. We're going to go with the blue card base for sure. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just glue it to the cover of my card. And I just like to do cards this way. One, I feel like it's easier to write a sentiment into a white card base. Also, white card bases are much cheaper than if you did a full colored one. So, and I'm frugal. So I like to use as much of my pieces of cardstock as I can. So I think this is a good method for that. Okay, let's start assembling and getting this card finished here. Okay. That was loud. I'm not sure what that was out there. Oh my goodness, this is just like kind of hitting that around that ink blended background was just like perfect with the label in place. Oh my goodness. All right, this also needs a little foam tape. Do one big one down the middle. And then just some little thinner pieces in here. Just like that. Okay. I feel like that should be good. And then before I glue this, I kind of got to arrange everything. Okay, so we're going to align that as close to the top as we can. So we've got room for our little birds that are so cute. Just kind of love them. I also could, there we go. I think I like it a little bit more aligned to each side. Okay, so that's going to be a good start. And then we'll just start tucking things in here and there. And we'll call it a day. Okay, there we go. I put foam tape just on the top of the bird. And then we'll do a little glue at the bottom. That little cutie there. This is so sweet. I just love these little birds. Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate that. All right. Kind of give these a little, I'm going to fluff the birds a little bit. Okay, so then kind of just going to start tucking little pieces here and there. I may end up gluing everything afterwards just to save a little bit of time. Oh, I kind of got to glue together some of the little pieces of the flowers here. Let's do that really quickly. Because these little guys have middles. I don't know if I'm going to use every single piece, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough to create the card here. Get those little middles added in. Oh, they're so pretty. I love that flower so much. Okay, so let's see here. kind of want to tuck. Oops. That. No, it's got to go here. It's got to finagle it into place here. Kind of like so. And then maybe one kind of snuggled in there. Might not use that one. Let's glue these little guys together real quick. Let's see. It has little lines that shows you kind of how it's supposed to go. Just trying to see them a little bit better. I think it goes a little bit like that. And look at how cute those are. Thank you, Carmen. I love those pink flowers so much. So again, let's see. I think it kind of goes like, probably really doesn't matter, friends. I feel like I'm being particular about this. Okay, there we go. So now I'm just going to place, and I will probably glue after we're done. Okay, so we'll stick that guy there. And let's add some greenery in here. I'm trying not to cover up too much of the bluebird with all the greenery here. Let's see. Do that. Kind of tuck this in there. This is the fussy part. And maybe a little bit in here. I don't know if I'll use both flowers, but I do want to use a couple of these, maybe like so. Like that. Actually, that might look really cute like that. Aha! Perfect. I love that. Okay. Maybe just this little guy in here. Don't want that. Maybe kind of out like so. All right, I think I found it, friends. I'm going to save all of these little additional pieces. I might add a couple of these little glittery ones here and there after I've glued them down, but I think I have found the look I'm going for on my little cluster of birds. So maybe I could, Carmen, that might be perfect. So I'm not going to bore you with me gluing them down because that tends to take me forever, and I've already gone a little over time. So I'm sure I'll add a couple jewels here and there when all is said and done, but in the end, this is my sweet little Simply Birds 1 Corinthians card, and I think it turned out so super fun. So I hope you enjoyed watching it come to life. Let me get just cleaning up my desk space a little bit here, and then I will flip the camera around and let you guys go. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. For those of you that were able to join me live today, if you're watching on replay, I hope you enjoyed watching this sweet little spring card come to life. I wasn't sure how it was going to come together, if I'm being completely honest, once I kind of started with the colors and all of that, but I am pleasantly surprised with how it turned out. I actually really, really love how it ended up turning out here. So thank you for bearing with me as I kind of fussed around with all the pieces and all of that, and, you know, contemplated colors and all of that good stuff. Sometimes crafting live, that's just how it goes. So, but I mean, we did a lot together in just about an hour, if you think about how long I let people find me. Thank you, Deborah. So glad you popped on. I didn't see you earlier. So I mean, we ink blended. You can put, okay, so Michelle is asking, do they have eyes? I think you can put eyes on them. There are little dots that you can use, which are technically flower middles, but the die does not technically have an eye, and I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes I find eyes a little creepy, so I'm actually kind of glad that it doesn't. But there is this little die in the corner. It's 3 little dots, so if you wanted to add little eyes to them, you sure could with that die. So you do have the option. They kind of freak me out a little bit, so I tend to leave them off if I can. It's a weird thing. Also, like, I like birds and I don't like birds, so I have a weird, like, mixed feeling about that. So anyway, we did a lot together in an hour. We ink blended a bunch of die cut pieces. We ink blended a whole background. We heat embossed a sentiment. We die cut some layers. We figured out colors. I would say, all in all, it was a successful crafting session. So I hope you enjoyed watching it come to life. And if you're watching on replay, I hope you enjoyed as well. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the video comments, because the live chat will be closed once I hit end stream here in just a moment. And just a reminder, if you're wanting to add any of these beautiful goodies to your stash, they're all linked in the video description below. I earn a small commission at no cost to you for that, and I'm really thankful when you shop from my links. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to let you go. That should be my only live this week because I've got family in town, but I should see you next week. And until then, happy crafting. Bye, guys.